Hi everyone. Welcome with Capital City Chamber of Commerce today. Today we have an exciting panel. This panel, we want to apologize for starting off a little late. We had a little technical difficulties on the back end, so we will have a couple of the panelists popping in a few seconds as they get their audio checked. So we do apologize for starting a little late, but we're starting 2021 off right and continuing to be the voice to bring information to you as hate to say that we're still going through COVID-19, but we are. And with that being said, we want to make sure that we still the faces that you see within the community. We added a little addition this year. We also have Erica, which will be translating into Spanish for me as I speak a little bit. So just bear with us because we want to make sure that we're communicating with everyone, all of our businesses within the community. Really quick, and I'm not going to prolong the time, but hopefully everyone had wonderful holidays, a happy new year, coming back with a mindset to just like, let's make it happen. And how do you do that? You do it with money. So I think this is a great Facebook Live to start off with, talking about how you can secure the loan funding that is coming down for the federal government, or information that you may have as it relates to if you had a previous PPP. And we also, the Capital City Chamber, we were able to also give out a lot of information with the Leon Cares through the OEV office, which is a big partner of ours. So at this time, I'm going to go according to my screen. And right at this time, Erica, if you can quickly introduce everyone really and let them know where we are, and we'll start introducing the panel for a quick, like a minute, please. Unmute yourself. You have to hit unmute yourself.
Ok, hola a todos. Mi nombre es Erika. Estamos todos reunidos hoy aquí para hablar sobre el programa de pago para los negocios, para que sus empleados tengan una seguridad de pago, especialmente para los pequeños negocios.
Thank you, Erica. At this time, we'll go ahead and have Ms. Montgomery with FAMU Credit Union. Introduce yourself, and I'll go according. So Sheila.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Sheila Montgomery, President, CEO of FAMU Federal Credit Union, which is the fourth oldest credit union in the nation, as well as the second oldest credit union, the second largest HBCU credit union in the nation. And we are a first-time PPP lender and very excited about being able to help our small businesses.
I got to get that accent on my voice. The first. Amber?
Hello, my name is Amber Milankovich, and I am Congressman Al Lawson's Legislative Director. I'm happy to be here and representing the 5th Congressional District of Florida, all the way from Gadsden to Jacksonville. Look forward to this conversation.
Oh, we're happy you're on here too. We can't wait to hear what you have to say. And Mr. Bowers, Keith.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Keith Bowers. I'm the Regional Director for the Small Business Development Center at Florida A&M. We provide technical assistance and consulting services, including access to capital through the Paycheck Protection Program and EIDL at no cost to our clients. So we're happy to be participating on this panel discussion.
I love, we're going to talk money. So when he mentioned no cost, everybody is like, yeah, we can get this application done with assistance for free. Sterling.
Hi, I'm Sterling Luce. I'm the credit officer here at Prime Meridian Bank in Tallahassee. We were very active in the first round of PPP and excited to get started on round 2 for 2021.
All right, and we're saving the best for last. Michael.
Hey, can you guys hear me okay?
We can.
Oh, fantastic. It's on my phone, so I've got to thank that. Yes, my name is Michael Barrera. I'm basically the new North Florida District Office District Director for the SBA. Our territory goes all the way from Orlando up through Jacksonville, all the way to Pensacola, so it's a big area. But I'm excited about being here when we're doing the next round of PPPs. I know a lot of people are excited about it, and I'm looking forward to talking more about it today.
Thank you. So I'm gonna just put a little plug in for Leon County and our close, like Wakulla County and Gaston County. So since are we the first webinar you had yet this year?
Yes, it is actually.
All right.
Thank Thaddeus for that.
That means we're going to be on your mind first. So with all of the SBA and so we got Mr. Bowers on here. I think this is his first webinar, unless y'all having the private meetings. We have SBA on here. So that means that Tallahassee is on your mind first. We always like to be, that's one of the proud things about Tallahassee. We love being first. We love giving the information out to the community. So at this time, I'm going to allow what everybody's been waiting for. And if you can take the time and just while Amber is speaking, is share on your media platforms so that everybody will have access to this information. It will be a recording also on our YouTube page, so everybody can go back and reference this later. But we're going to give the opportunity to Amber to speak right now on the differences and what is new to the PPP, the processes, and what she has for us. After that, we'll give the opportunity, so we will be able to take live questions from the community on what they're wanting to know, what differences are, have they even started the application process, and we will also give you information to who in the community you will be able to locate with, and also get the application process started. What I suggest, and one of the things that we did with Capital City Chamber these last 4 months, the technical assistance, it was huge for businesses to be prepared and ready for this paperwork. And that's what I kept telling businesses as they call, if another round of PPP come out, would you be ready? So I think the Tallahassee community is more ready than ever. And we going to give the stage to Amber to go ahead and allow you to speak. But while you getting yourself together, Erica, I'll let them know, let our other community know what we're doing and what we're getting ready to hear.
En este momento vamos a escuchar a Amber Milekuch. Va a decirnos un poco la diferencia del programa de la primera ronda que se hizo del pago para los empleados de cada negocio y esta segunda ronda. Como vieron, tenemos varios representantes, tenemos al director de los negocios pequeños, tenemos el vicepresidente del Banco Credit Union, tenemos varios representantes que van a ser una gran oportunidad para todos los negocios pequeños poder seguir en este programa.
Thank you. And as Amber speak, and I feel like it's important information, and just let everyone know that we will cover just a Hispanic component, and you will do majority of the speaking moving forward. Thank you so much. Amber, it's yours. We're ready to hear what you have to share with us here in Tallahassee.
Sounds good. Okay, so I'll just do a general overview and comparison from last time to this time, and I'll answer your questions at the end. So just to kick it off, we were able to secure the congressman included, as he sits on financial services, $284.45 billion for the second round of PPP. Small Business Administration will continue to oversee the program, and you can find additional information from what I'm going to say, but further information on sba.gov website. Yesterday, Monday the 11th at 9 a.m., the first PPP loan portal system opened for the first round draw of applications. Those we designated to CDFIs, which are community development financial institutions, minority depository institutions, and certified development companies to be able to get their applications in first, really putting emphasis on the smaller businesses. We will continue to open, or SBA will continue to open the portal again. They'll continue to open from January 13th. And then again, more applications, the remaining people will be able to put their applications in on January 18th moving forward. And the program is extended through March 31 of 2021. So I'll just briefly go over some changes and we can go from there. But some of the highlights, PPP has been revised from its original form the first time around to make it more flexible, a lot more user-friendly, and a lot more help to smaller businesses. So the 60-40 rule has been revised. The 60% of funds borrowers, 60% of funds borrowed by businesses under PPP must still go towards payroll. That's the same. However, the other expenses, the remaining 40% can go towards, has changed. Again, to be more flexible. So some things the 40% can cover is business operation expenses around cloud computing, sales, monitoring, and supplier goods, along with buying and installing sneeze guards, personal protective equipment, and allowing money to be used to help switch from outdoor dining from the indoor in order to make it more COVID friendly. The second thing that I think is important to highlight is that businesses that receive PPP loans the first time can apply for a second loan under the new PPP, just with certain restrictions. So they must have the 300 employees or fewer, which is the same, and they also must have exhausted their past PPP loan in order to reapply. So another thing that I think is important to highlight is the new time window, which we're all pretty excited about. So this time around, borrowers can have more flexibility in their time frame in which they can spend the PPP funds and still be eligible to have the loan forgiven. When they take out the loan, a borrower can choose to end date within 8 to 24 weeks time frame. So that allows them more flexibility and for more to be forgiven in the time frame that's suitable for their business.
Just one real quick. I noticed on the screen that you also still had the EIDL up, the advance. Is that still something that businesses is still active for them to apply for now?
Yes, ma'am.
Has anything changed on that?
Not to my knowledge, no. I can do a deeper dive and whoever was asking that question, circle back. But to my knowledge, that is the grant program staying the same.
Okay. And the EIDL is the advance to that businesses can get with as a grant. Is that correct?
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
And what's the amount for the EIDL?
The amount that they can get?
Yes, it goes according to how do they factor that out? Can you speak of that a little bit?
Yes, let me circle back to that. I'm going to hit on the amounts that are changing, and then I'll just make sure that those amounts didn't change along with the loan itself.
Perfect.
So the loan itself, the amount did change. The maximum loan amount has been reduced from 10 million to 2 million that they can take out for PPP. So since that reduced, let me just double check with the upfront EDL. So I will definitely circle back with that. That's important. Thank you.
Thank you.
Of course. And then just another small note on the amount changing for the loan itself is that most individual businesses can request is still based on the same formula from the time before, that 2.5 times average payroll. However, in this package, we were able to secure the formula to be adjusted for the food service and hospitality businesses to be 3.5 average payroll. So that's a big difference from the first time around with the 2.5 when averaging your loan amount. And then the last thing I'm going to touch on before I circle back is just that the PPP and employee retention tax credit, with tax season upon us, we've been getting a lot of questions. So previously a business that received a PPP loan could also not claim an employee retention tax credit. So this has been changed, which is a big deal. So it's changed and retroactive, meaning that the business that received the PPP loan can claim the tax credit for the 2020 by the end of the year. So there's a lot more details on that, but that will be on the SBA website to go more into depth there on exactly how the tax credit claiming will work. So I think my last note before I turn it over, and then we'll get to that question you asked me, is just that there has been a giant push for supporting, minority and underserved veteran and woman-owned businesses. And the SBA has added a demographic reporting section on the PPP borrower's application. So it'll be a better way for us to trace who's getting these types of businesses, types of demographic, what communities and areas are getting these loans to have a better understanding in the government moving forward. And then lastly, since we are encouraging CDFIs and minority women veterans and military-owned lenders to apply to become PPP lenders, they are going to be focusing on those to get a lot of people approved. And just like we mentioned earlier, FAMU was approved as one of those PPP lenders. So we're hoping to see a lot more of that coming out of our district and other people's communities to help people out. But I feel like I just said a lot and I want other people to talk. But if you have any other pressing questions that I can answer, I'm happy to.
You did, and what I'm going to allow. The reason why I have these experts on the line with me today, because I have no idea what they do in their office to get this done and get the community served. So I'm going to allow. I know they may have questions for you, or also for Michael, or Mr. Bowers right there. I know everybody may have questions, and I know we may have some questions that are also coming online. Please, community, if you have any questions, go ahead and put them in the comment, and please continue to share these questions. So I'm going to open up the floor. Does anyone have any questions for Amber or Michael or Mr. Bowers at this time?
I just have one question. I know that the PPP period ends on March the 31st. So are you anticipating there's enough money that we will be able to not have to turn anyone away? Or is it once it ends, they can just wait for the next round?
This is Mike. The way it's been explained to us, there is going to be enough money. So they do want to be sure that. So that's I'm glad actually that question is important for two things. They expect there's going to be enough money in this round. But what's important to know and to know about this particular round is that the loans are probably going to take longer to get to you. They're going to be a lot more intentional about checking the data and checking people's identifications. So we want to let people know that so they don't get worried about it. When you apply for your loan, it's probably going to take longer for the loan to be dispersed because they're going to do a lot more background checking. The reason they're going to do that is also that when you actually do for your forgiveness, that process should be quicker because they've done a lot of upfront work on it already. But yeah, they anticipate that the money that's coming out is going to be enough.
Thank you. We also have a question from the audience, and if you can, for new business owners, do I qualify?
You have to have been in business by February 15th, 2020.
So it's February the 15th, 2020. I don't even want to say 2020 anymore. Everybody's just done with 2020. We glad that we all on this call today, but we all barely made it. But we don't even want to say 2020. So you have to be, and hopefully that answered her question. And so as we answer your questions, and it's just something quick that we can just also post online, it'll be for others to share and look. At this, does anyone, Chrissy, do we have any more? We have a question from Mr. Terrence Barber. Is FAMU a lender? Sheila, I'm gonna have you the pleasure of saying that.
Well, we're really excited about it. And I was telling staff, be careful what you ask for, because now we're trying to assemble our team together to make sure that we efficiently serve our members. But we are now a PPP lender.
Thank you. When she called me with that news, I was celebrating, yay! Because this is huge for Tallahassee to have a minority depository lender within our community and what that looks like. So we're having an opportunity to do that. At this time, I know everybody is there any more questions? If there's any more questions, Chrissy, just pop them up on the screen and I'll see them. But at this time, I'll allow Sterling to say what Prime Meridian did in the past and what you're looking to do coming up with this PPP round.
Thank you, Katrina. We participated last year to the extent, I believe, of 906 loans. Of course, those were all considered first round. We're pretty much ready to go for first round this time, or first draw, excuse me. Second draw, we still got a little work to do, getting ready for that procedure, and hoping to hear more from what Michael has to say. But to date, we are up and ready where we can accept paper applications at this time. We will do it again through an online portal to make it easier for the clients, and as well as to have a secure process for them to transport or transmit data to us. We are up and ready to go as soon as the portal is open. And Michael, I believe I just heard the date January 18th. Is that correct? Is that an official date for the portal?
I think that's what Michelle said, is January 18th. I knew this for all lenders. They haven't given us the exact date, but I knew it was around that time. So if she said it, it must be right.
Amber, is that the correct date?
Amanda, I mean.
That's what I have. I have the 18th for everyone. So I believe that is correct.
Okay.
We'll be ready.
So on the 18th, everybody, we're going to have a line like we're doing COVID testing so that we can get this money out to the community. That will be great. So that we can get this money out to the community and make sure that we have, and Sterling, at Prime Meridian, when someone walks into the doors over there, do they normally ask for you, or would they ask for someone in the front would just handle them and go through the process? How's that process work?
Somebody can walk into the door at Prime Meridian Bank and virtually any one of our teammates help you get started in the process of filling out the application. It's an all hands on deck process for us. So we're glad to help by phone, by walking clients, and online as well.
Okay, thank you. At this time, Erica, if you would share with the community in the short version, what we spoke of so far, and give them some dates according to when they will be able to apply, which is January the 18th.
Just have a question before I go to that. If the people need to go, like a FAMU is a lender, the credit union, they just go in there and start the process there, or they have to start the process online and after go over there?
Good question. Thank you for asking. Right now, we're going to ask people to call us so that we can see where they are. We're working on our website as we're speaking today to get a phone number dedicated for PPP, and then we will direct them on how best. Some people may want to walk in. That has to be done by appointment only. Some people may want to do it online. We have e-sign Genie, so we can help them to get all the paperwork uploaded and signed. And some people may need technical assistance. So we're going to ask them to call in first so we'll know just how best to put them on a fast track to get their loan submitted.
And the thing about that also, Keith is offers is all hands on deck technical assistance as well. Keith, is your site appointment only because the COVID is still live and well? We wish it wasn't. Are you by appointment only in your office as well for technical assistance?
Yeah, they could just call and schedule an appointment. We've got 5 certified business consultants that are providing technical assistance for the PPP application.
Okay.
So we can get you in relatively quickly.
Okay. Erica.
Okay. Bueno, estamos hablando un poco para cómo es el programa de pago garantizado para sus empleados en los pequeños negocios. La sucursal de FAMU de Credit Union pueden llamar allí. Ellos ahora son unas personas que están prestando este servicio para los pequeños negocios. Los negocios tienen que haber estado establecidos para febrero 15 del año 2020. Si su negocio fue establecido antes de febrero 15 del 2020, usted puede calificar para este programa de pago garantizado a sus empleados. En los comentarios y en la página del programa están los números de teléfono y la página web donde pueden ir para mayor información. Está en por lo menos 10 idiomas diferentes, incluyendo español.
Thank you. It was a question that popped up on the bottom of the screen. And anyone that can answer this question and get it best out to the community, let's attack it. We received the EIDL $10,000 grant with the SBA, and we also received a PPP loan. They only forgave a portion of the PPP and left a balance. Are they forgiving 100% of the PPP loans? Not all at once.
Well, I can take a stab at this. They are forgiving 100% of all of the eligible uses for the PPP loan. So if those funds that were provided through PPP were used to cover payroll, rent, mortgage, utilities, all eligible uses. So if they did not forgive 100%, then whatever that dollar amount was, it appears that SBA deemed that ineligible for forgiveness.
Thank you. That was a great answer. So we have another one from the Tallahassee Arts. There's also Save Our Stages funding coming down. We've heard that you can't get SOS and PPP at the same time. Can you tell us more? We want to get info to venues. I'm not familiar with Save Our Stages. This is new to me. So can someone tackle the Save Our Stages? Amber or Sterling?
Well, I'll tell you, there is some mention of that in the actual application for the PPP loan, that you cannot do one without the other. And I do not believe the acronym is Save Our Stages, but it applies to a closed venue. So I believe there's a separate grant being sponsored by the SBA. Hopefully Michael can help us answer that question that's specific to an open air or gathering venue, as opposed to something under the hospitality venue.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, that is correct. I will just say, because there is money in the package as a whole, the stimulus package for venues and concert halls and stuff like that. So that's like a separate fund within the package itself. Does that make sense? It's separate money.
That's right. The acronym on the application for PPP is actually Shuttered Venue Operation Grant.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that is synonymous with Save Our Stages.
So did we answer the question, can it be applied for at the same time?
No.
Okay.
According to the PPP application in front of me.
Okay. Thank you. We just and I also noticed on there from the SBA, they're also giving us information. When we were speaking of earlier, the EIDL Advanced Grant will come back online soon. The EIDL is managed through the Office of Disaster Assistance and will be available through December the 31st, 2021. More guidance is forthcoming. Mr. Hammond also let us know that the PPP loans communicate with your lender. They will then have to complete SBA form 2483 for the first draw loan application, and SBA form 2483 SD and the second draw form applications. All of that information is on site, on their website. And I just want to take the opportunity now and mention really quick, because I know a lot of people, we have a lot of questions that's coming in now. All this information is currently, Christina Paredes from the Office of Economic Vitality, she contacted me last night just to let me know that everything has been updated on the OEV website to the new changes. So Chrissy, as we start to just have conversations between ourselves, if you can gather that so that we can share it with the community and let them know where to go and find this information. Because sometimes when you're talking about it and you want to go back and reference it, you will actually be able to go to the OEV website the Office of Economic Vitality, which the director reached out and said, hey, this information has been updated. So we appreciate them for that. And I know the questions was just coming in. Does anyone else have any questions for the SBA or Amber at this time? So what we're saying is Tallahassee is ready. So we are ready to receive the loans, the financial institutions. We're ready to have open doors and people just knocking down at the doors. Now, we did not speak to if you had a previous PPP. Did I miss that? If you had a previous PPP and you want to apply this time, what does that look like?
I'll take a shot at that. If you applied and received a first round of what we call PPP during 2020, you're eligible again to apply. The requirements first are that you can attest that you have expended. You don't have to actually be forgiven for, but you do have to attest that you've expended the previous proceeds on eligible uses. You may apply again. Essentially, the limits are the same in terms of dollar amount. The one qualifier being that you will have to show that you have been economically harmed to the extent of your top line revenue has been reduced by at least 25%. And the way we're being asked to calculate that is linked quarter. So any quarter of 2019 compared to 2020, or you can actually use the whole year if you like.
Okay, and that is and we're speaking in reference to businesses that has already received a PPP. And when you word it spend it, that means spend all of your money, right? That you received before, and you file your forgiveness loan, and you've gotten that back. And how long does it normally take? And I'm just being in general because I've done this stuff myself. But just to let the community know, how long does it normally take to get your forgiveness application returns saying that your loan is forgiven? What's the process?
We've had varying instances, but typically I would say between 2 and 3 days. We've had a few applications that stay for a while, and presumably they're getting looked at a little bit more. But so far, everything that we've sent, at least 98% of what we've sent, has come back in about 2 to 3 days with actual full forgiveness. If we talk about the application process, I think Michael said we're all anticipating the actual process to get a first time draw or a second draw will be a little bit longer. Again, it was not any length of time last year, and if it's 2 or 3 days, I think that's a reasonable expectation.
Okay, thank you. Michael, do you have anything you would like to add to that?
No, I know I missed out a bunch of it there, but and again, the key on the second, what you were talking really, it's called a second draw loan. There's first draw loans and second draw loans. The second draw loan, they may have gone over because I might have missed it. First draw, you can borrow up to 10 million. Second draw, you can only borrow up to 2 million. So they're kind of cutting that back so to make sure there's going to be enough money for everyone. But like you said, the application process is going to be a little bit more difficult, but hopefully the forgiveness part is going to be a little quicker. Good thing to remember is for forgiveness is the number 150,000. If you're asking for about 150,000 for either one of the loans, if you're under that, you will not have to have physical documentation, but you will need that physical documentation when you ask for forgiveness. So you may not need it at the upfront, but you will need it at the end. So that's a thing to remember. And also for both these loans, you don't need collateral, and the SBA is going to guarantee 100% of it. So those are the type of things that should be helpful on these loans, or personal guarantees. There will be personal guarantees as well. Okay.
So really quick, $150,000 will be forgiven of the PPP.
No, 150,000. That's the actual. If you ask for less than 150,000, the paperwork will be cut down. There will be a simplified application and they're working on that, and a simplified forgiveness. But the paperwork's gonna be less than 150,000.
Okay, thank you. Chrissy, the question on the screen is from Kayla Norris Barber. Are there any lenders ready to accept PPP application for the Head Start portion that began January the 11th?
So those were dedicated mostly to the CDFIs and the MDIs, but you can just reach out to your lender if you fall under that category, and they'll be able to tell you if they're participating in the program.
And is it the thing to remember is that go to www.sba.gov/PPP, and on that particular website, you'll see a thing called Lender Match, and that will help you wherever you basically type in your zip code. It can help you with your lenders.
Okay, thank you. And that will give you a list of all the lenders within your area.
Yes.
And thank you for that, Michael. That would be very, very helpful. And if you can repeat that one more time so that we can put it on our screen. So
Okay.
go ahead.
www.sba.gov/PPP.
Okay, thank you.
And if you use, they recommend if you had a lender on your first draw, go and use that second lender on your second draw because you'll have the information.
Oh, and that's a great point. So it actually, if you go back to the same lender, it'll make your application process a little less stressful. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, because they have your information already.
Okay, great. And that's great to know. Because one of the things that small businesses, the technical assistance and helping get through this paperwork process without being daunting and scary for small businesses, that is one of the things that the Capital City Chamber has put a hand into helping, and a little hand holding to helping people get through this process along with the financial institutions. But the PPP component, you have to go to your lender. That's one of the things. We don't have the application here at the chamber, but I can recommend you to the financial institutions in order to help you. We also, did I see another question? Will there be a one sheet of key differences available?
I didn't hear the question. Sorry.
Will there be a one sheet of key differences available? So is there comparison online of a one sheet of what the differences are from the first loan compared, the first PPP first round compared to the second round?
Again, I go to the website. I give you www.sba.gov/PPP. Everything you're going to want to know is on there. They're updating that particular website daily.
Okay, thank you.
The top line overview that's very informative. One page for each draw request.
Okay, you're
The main thing is going to be how much money the size of the people that can apply, and how much you can get. Size has to be for the first draw. The general rule less than 500 people, depending on what your NAIC code is. Second thing is on the second draw, it's under 300 employees. And the most you can borrow in the first draw is 10 million, or 2.5 times your monthly payroll, or 3.5 times if you're food service. Second draw, the most you can take out is 2 million, or 3.5 times your monthly payroll if you're a food service, or 2.5 if for a regular business.
Okay, thank you. At this time, we're gonna we're at right on time. So what we're going to do at this time, if no one else, we're going to do like a round robin and allow people to get your contact information if they would like to reach out to you. But again, the PPP, you need to have a relationship with your financial institution. It is other services here in the community that will direct you there. And if you need a technical assistance, please give us a call at the chamber. We would definitely direct you in the right direction. So at this time, Amber, if it's anything that you would leave with this community as far as we know to continue to pay attention to the changes. It's changes happening every single day. So, and modifications to make it better for everyone. So I'm going to start with you. What would you leave for the community?
Well, just continue to do your research. And if you have any questions, our office is available 24/7. We have an office in Jacksonville, an office in Tallahassee. You can find our contact information on Al Lawson's website. And then honestly, I'm happy to give you, hopefully I don't get too many emails, but I'm happy to answer every single email that comes through. But my personal email address, it's going to be Amber, AMBER dot, it's a mouthful, Milenkevich, MILEN KEVICH, at mail.house.gov. And again, I'm happy to answer any questions, but our district staff is awesome, and they will be happy to assist you if you have any questions, whether it be filling out your application, if you need help with anything else, just let us know. We are there to assist you and help you through this time. And I know the congressman would definitely want me to reiterate that. So feel free anytime to reach out. Our office is happy to help you guys.
Okay, and I'm going to pause for a minute because what I'm seeing is some questions, and that's the purpose of this, to answer the questions in the community. I got another question on here. It said, will there be a second round of EIDL? And I don't know if I answered that when I answered through the application is open through December the 31st, but will there be a second round of EIDL?
Well, the EIDL has been extended to December 31st, 2021.
Okay.
So it is open right now. You can apply. And that application process is handled online. Everything is done online. It's not done through the lender. So you could visit the SBA website and just do a quick search for EIDL application, and it'll take you to a portal, and it'll redirect you to the disaster loan at .sba site, and everything is online. The thing is, with the EIDL, you don't actually put in a loan amount. They basically use a formula to determine how much you would be eligible for.
Okay, and that's a great question, because with the second part of the PPP coming out, you would think that it would be an additional component with the EIDL. So I thought that was a great question. Michael, do you have anything to say on that?
No, I think they're separate budgets. You know, the PPPs are coming from the banks and the SBA is guaranteeing. EIDL is coming directly from SBA. So there are different budgets and there's different ways of handling it. But I think the way he explained it is the way it works.
Thank you. It was one other question. Do first-time PPP borrowers have to apply for forgiveness before applying for second draw?
Well, if you're applying for forgiveness, that means you've already had one. That means you're not a first time. That means you're not a first timer if you're applying for forgiveness. So that means you'd be asking for a second draw. A first draw is people who have never applied for the PPP before.
Okay, but do they have to apply for? Okay, I think I understand the way he wrote it, but what he's saying is, if a business has gotten the PPP loan, do they have to do the forgiveness application first before they apply for the second draw?
No, I think you got to go through your application, get your money, and see how much you've spent, and see how you spent, because you don't get forgiveness unless you've spent the money properly. So you have to spend the money properly before you're going to be forgiven.
Okay, and then you cannot. So without doing that forgiveness application, you cannot get a second draw.
Well, you do your forgiveness application. I think you do that within 10 months after the money's dispersed.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to have the money dispersed before you can ask. You can't ask for it to be forgiven until you get the money. So you have to get the money first before you ask for forgiveness.
Okay.
It's almost like you have to sin first before you ask for forgiveness. So.
True.
I do think you can. I believe you can apply for PPP second draw without having been forgiven. You do have to attest that you have spent the money, the first advance of the first draw, on eligible expenses.
Yeah, thanks, Sterling, because I say, well, maybe I can't say it right. I don't know. I didn't know. And that's what I was meaning, without you submitting that forgiveness portion, and you still apply for that second point. Do we have any more questions from the community? The methodology is more that payroll, but loans appears to be based on 941s. Why is it not the full method of the calculation? That seems like an Amber or Michael question, or anyone that can.
I know from our standpoint, if you get into like tax stuff, speak with your tax consultant. We cannot give tax advice. Or speak with your banker.
Well, I'll chime in a little bit on that. The 941 actually cuts through a lot of the minutia in terms of applying. It simplifies it. If you're going off what you reported on your 941 for your actual eligible loan amount, and then you go back for forgiveness, it makes it a much easier comparison and to validate what you spent money on post getting the loan for the forgiveness portion. So if you go 941 to calculate your loan amount and you use 941s to actually apply for forgiveness, it's much more smooth.
Okay, thank you.
And for the record, the 941s and the 940s are basically statements that outline and substantiate how much you spent in wages and salaries. So, and the 941s are quarterly, and the 940s are annual, and the 941s are quarterly reports.
Okay, and I just want to let Tallahassee know this is why I have these experts on this live. All them numbers and 940s and 941s, and then you get to go to the other calculations to make sure everything is. This is why I have a team of people that I call to make sure that I'm giving out the right information. So all of this information is great, and I appreciate everybody. Really quickly, so we can go ahead and narrow it down. Amber had already started us off, and then I broke it back off again because I never have control. But now we will allow Sheila to go ahead and say what she is ready to receive the whole community today. Come over there and knock on FAMU's door.
Do not knock on the door. I have a ring. You can actually ring the bell. But I wanted to say that, we're gathering our team together. We are hoping to get started on the 18th or 19th. I think the 18th is a holiday. But either way, we are gathering our team. We're looking forward to helping the smallest of small credit business owners. Don't want to turn anybody away, because the thing we feel is that going through the process will make your business better. And we are taking anybody that comes through. Best way to get to us is, of course, through the website, which is www.famufcu.com. But you can also call us, and that number is 850-222-4541. And we'll be happy to help you through this process. We are a minority depository institution and CDFI certified, as well as a low income designated credit union. And so we do have the experience of being able to help you through this process. Whatever we can do, we're going to do our best. Are we perfect? Let me put that out there now. No. But we are going to do our best to see that you get through the technical part of this process. And thank you so much, Katrina, for allowing us to be a part of this panel, to let everybody know that FAMU is an intricate part of the community, and we're looking forward to serving.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Sterling.
Well, thanks again for having me. I'm excited to get ready to go again for round 2 of PPP. We're posting everything on our website, primemeridianbank.com. You can reach us at 850-907-2300. And honestly, I think virtually every one of our teammates can help you get started in the process. This has been an all hands on deck for us. So any questions you have, we're glad we're here. The lobbies are open, and we're glad to help. Thank
you so much. Michael.
No, I appreciate being part of this today. This is my introduction into the area, and I'm really glad that I was here. Did it in Tallahassee, so thank you for that. This is gonna be. I guess the best thing about this whole process: be patient. We're still going. It's kind of a new. It's the same as the last PPP, but it's different. So be patient, and because things may take a little longer, but I think they're going to be more efficient at the end. And I look forward to working with everyone.
Thank you. Keith.
Thank you, Katrina, for inviting us into this conversation. We think it's a very worthwhile conversation. And I just want everyone to know that they can receive at no cost technical assistance. And, don't be intimidated by this process. We've got people, as Katrina had mentioned, we've got people that will hold your hand, walk you through it step by step. We did a lot of this work in the first iteration of the PPP rollout, and we are standing by waiting for you to give us a call or send us an email or visit our website to schedule an appointment. Thank you.
Okay, really quick. Erica, say that they will be able to contact us, and if someone needs to reference them to you, or how we can close that out, and I'll come back in and close us all. Erica?
Yes. Bueno, thank you, everyone. I'm just gonna say a little resume or what you guys was saying. Para todos la información, tienen que ir a la página, tienen que ir a sus bancos principalmente y preguntar si ellos están participando en el programa del pago para sus empleados. Si no, pueden ir a la página de FIAMIO, que es la www.sbdcfamu.org, que está aquí en los comentarios, o llamarlos al número de teléfono 850-599-3407. Ellos están dispuestos a ayudarlos con cualquier pregunta. También para cualquier información del programa pueden ir a www.sba.gov/PPP. Ahí está toda la información de lo que tienen que hacer para aplicar por primera vez o la segunda vez.
Thank you. I just want to say to the Tallahassee community, we will also be moving forward in getting technical assistance set up, and we'll have more information coming out as far as it comes to financial capacity within the whole community. We have a financial capacity program that will be unfolding shortly, so we don't want to give all of it away so that you'll come back and find out what that looks like. And what we do when you go to visit us at Capital City Chamber website is capcitychamber.com. When you visit us on your website, you're able to see what we have to offer you. One of the things I like to make sure that we're being inclusive to the community. We also had the opportunity to work with the Leon County, the City of Tallahassee, and also the Office of Economic Vitality, Domey Station. We have a lot of partners. We also work with Women Wednesdays. One of the things that we do is collaboration. You can't do anything, and COVID-19 has taught us that. So we want to say thank you for joining us. And we look forward to having different panels in 2021 that will help you. We will also be bringing panels to you, and not necessarily panels, but Zooms to you that will be technical assistance. That way you can check the block and make sure that you're working on particularly your business as you're online with us via Zoom. So look forward to those coming as well. At this time, we're going to tell everybody bye, and I thank my panel for joining. At this last minute, I called and I text and I said, let's make this happen. No one gave me any trouble, and I appreciate that. And they probably talked about me after they hung up. They say that doggone Katrina. But I appreciate it. I'm texting Keith on the Sunday night, and it took him a minute. I said, well, maybe he's sitting on the couch with his wife and saying, what in the devil Katrina want? But anyway, Sterling, I appreciate it. I actually reached out to Prime Meridian Bank, and I got them all squared away in like a couple of hours and emailing. And Michael, when I reached over to SBA, and then you guys took an hour. So I appreciate Thaddeus for replying back to me. So he said, okay, we're on board. And then when I reached out to Amber, I think Amber, man, you started texting Sunday as well. So I am a person of faith. God said, set your week right. And so that's what I did. I went to setting it right, talking about money and giving ways to the community. And I appreciate you all. And at this time, bye Tallahassee. And we look forward to coming back to you when other things come down the pipeline to share with the community. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay.